Contracts aren't there to confuse you or scare you. They're the part of real estate that brings clarity, protects clients, and defines everyone's expectations in a deal. Once you understand them, everything else starts to feel a lot more doable. Today, we'll walk through what a real estate contract is, the contract types the PSI exam focuses on, the key parts inside them, and simple ways to study so you remember the purpose behind each section. This isn't about sounding like a lawyer. It's about understanding your role clearly so you can step into this career feeling informed and capable. A real estate contract is just an agreement between people that outlines what everyone is promising to do in a property deal. In most cases, it defines the price, the property, the timeline, and the protections if something doesn't go as planned. For the PSI exam, you're being tested on understanding the purpose behind the contract, not memorizing complicated language. If you always ask yourself, who is this agreement for and what is it protecting? You'll already be studying the right way. Let's talk through the main ones. The purchase agreement is the core agreement between the buyer and the seller. This is where the price and the terms of the sale are defined. A listing agreement is between the seller and the agent or brokerage who will market and represent the home sale. A buyer agency agreement is between the buyer and the agent who will represent the buyer's interests. And a lease agreement is a rental agreement between a renter and a property owner. The PSI exam includes this because being an agent can also involve rentals, not just buying and selling. All of these contracts have different purposes, but they all share the same theme. They define the relationship, the property, the payment, the timing, and the protection. Most real estate contracts follow a structure that's easier than it sounds. First, the parties involved, which are the names of the people in the agreement. That tells you who the contract is between. Then, the property details, like the address and description of the home or rental. Next, the payment terms, which could be the purchase price or the monthly rental amount. Then the timing, meaning the important dates and deadlines, like inspections, closing, or lease start dates. And finally, the signatures, because that's what makes the agreement official. If you study contracts by recognizing these 5 pieces and understanding why each contract exists, you're not just preparing for the exam, you're preparing for the actual job, which is a much stronger place to learn from. When you're studying for the PSI exam, keep your attention on understanding who the contract is between, understanding the purpose of the agreement, recognizing the key sections inside it, and remembering that every clause exists for a reason, usually to define expectations or protect someone's interests. If you hold on to the purpose, the details become easier to anchor in your memory. And if you want a resource that explains these topics step by step and lets you come back to lessons when you need to, RealEstateU was built for that exact kind of learner. It's a supportive place to build your foundation, especially when you're starting fresh. You're learning this in the exact right order, and when you want beginner-focused education that meets you where you are, you can explore more anytime at RealEstateU.com.